Welcome to the channel, folks. I realize that sometimes when I make videos that I don't really consider people that are new to this thing, to Q, Adrenochrome and stuff like that. And that's why I wanted to make a video just solely on what adrenochrome is, what it's used for, how it's extracted, and all those things. Now, before I begin, I want to emphasize that this is a pretty sensitive topic. And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Well, when you just Google adrenochrome and you go to Wikipedia, the explanation is the following. Adrenochrome is a chemical compound with the molecular formula C9H9NO3, produced by the oxidation of adrenaline, epinephrine. The derivative carbazochrome is a hemostatic medication. Despite a similarity in chemical names, it is unrelated to chrome or chromium. Then it says about the effects on the brain. Several small-scale studies involving 15 or fewer test subjects conducted in the 1950s and 1960s reported that adrenochrome triggered psychotic reactions such as thought disorder, derealization, and euphoria. Researchers Abram Hoffer and Humphrey Osmond claim that adrenochrome is a neurotoxic psychotomimetic substance and may play a role in schizophrenia and other mental illnesses. In what they called the adrenochrome hypothesis, they speculated that mega doses of vitamin C and niacin could cure schizophrenia by reducing brain adrenochrome. While the treatment of schizophrenia with such potent antioxidant is highly contested in literature, and adrenochrome is not currently believed to have any psychedelic properties, a number of recently published papers consider Hoffer's paper a landmark contribution to the notion that impairment of what's now termed the antioxidant defense system, AODS, seems to play a role in schizophrenia. Then there is a part that goes on about popular culture, and there is a little part that describes that it was mentioned in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. All right, well, this is my take on it, which is based on the information that I've gathered. Adrenochrome is created when large amounts of adrenaline is released into the bloodstream. Now, very wealthy people, the elite, if you want to call them that, use this drug as a way to get high, basically, because it gives a immense high, if I have to believe the sources that I've read. But it also has a anti-aging effect. So this is where the story of Count Dracula and vampires come from. All right, well, this is where it gets really nasty. The way these people extract the adrenochrome is from little children in general, usually from children under the age of 10. What these people do to these children before they extract it is, horrifying to say the least. To put it in a nice way, you could never put this in a nice way, but they terrorize these children, they traumatize these children, they abuse them, they mutilate them, and this makes these children release so much adrenaline into their bloodstream, because you can imagine that a little child getting traumatized like that by older people, Satanists, releases an insane amount of adrenaline into their bloodstream. And then at the height of their trauma, they extract their blood by just cutting them open, or whatever horrific way they use. So to make a long story short, they are literally feeding off the trauma, the stress, the fear of children. So that is the kind of people that we're dealing with. So it means the more fear and trauma and sorrow they can cause these kids, the better the high is, basically, because the more adrenaline that is released into their bloodstream, the for them, the better it is. I've seen that from more than one source that when they found the Anthony Weiner laptop, which has footage from Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin, which was a snuff movie that hardened officers that watched the footage that was on that laptop had to turn away and throw up because the images that they saw was so horrific. In other words, these people will go to any lengths to make the torture as horrible as possible for these kids. And that is why they say that those who know can't sleep. If you want to know a bit more about the whole Anthony Weiner laptop thing, then search for Frazzle Drip, which is spelled FRAZZLEDRIP. Just or go on Twitter or something, hashtag Frazzle Drip, and you will see plenty of info. But as I said before, viewer discretion is advised. Now, I came across an article on scarenormal.com, which I would like to read to you. Alright, the title goes, The Elite Superdrug, Adrenochrome. And it goes as follows. Have you ever watched the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? Or read the book by Hunter S. Thompson? Well, if you did either, then you would be familiar with a specific scene. In the scene, one of the characters mentions that a Satanist gave it to him as a form of payment. He continues with, "This stuff makes pure mess seem like ginger beer," referring a brown-colored bottle. This was filled with adrenochrome. What is adrenochrome? Adrenochrome is an organic chemical substance which is produced by the oxidation of the adrenal gland. They are located on top of each kidney. Adrenaline is believed to be produced when a person is excited or is undergoing an adrenaline rush. The compound can cause hemostasis or is anti-hemorrhaging in nature. Sale usage of adrenochrome as a drug is highly controlled and regulated by the FDA. Now this is where it gets crazy. To make adrenochrome, it has to be harvested. This associates the drug to human sacrifice. The elite, the cabal, and Hollywood, it is believed that adrenochrome makes a person retain his/her youth. Users experience a unique euphoria feeling. Origins of adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is known as the fountain of youth serum. There are references that adrenochrome is linked to Satanism or other secret cults. The cults are highly secretive and they operate their organizations in secret. The cults are often deathly evil. Sacrifices are known throughout history to have been conducted during the ancient times. Some civilizations that were regularly sacrificing humans were the Egyptians, the Mayan, and the Aztecs. The civilizations were deeply seated in the process of killing, extracting, and consuming adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is said to remove the life energy of the victim, and when the consumer ingests the drug, they then receive the victim's life energy. Adrenochrome is said to cause mental disorders, derealization, and euphoria. How is adrenochrome harvested? Adrenochrome is said to be harvested from kidnapped children under the age of 9. The drug is more potent under the age of 9. The children need to be at their most fearful in order to extract potent adrenaline/epinephrine from their pineal gland. It has the combined effect of both super strong speed and LSD. The adrenaline/epinephrine is extracted quickly as the adrenaline is not as potent over time. The subject is sometimes kept alive for numerous extractions. The way it's done is through a needle being punctured into the eye to secrete adrenaline/epinephrine from the brainstem. Adrenochrome harvesting and the elite. The elite are said to run massive child trafficking rings all around the world, buying and selling children for their own pleasure. Children are heavily used since they experience a huge spike of adrenaline from the pineal gland. In 2018, NCMEC reports 424 1,000 plus missing children every year in America. A lot of the elite are addicted to the substance. They participate in what is called spirit cooking and have parties surrounding on the subject of human sacrificing. These people sacrifice children, eat the bodies, drink the blood, and worship dark gods. This stuff tends to be quite addicting. Many who try the drug tend to have a hard time coming off it. One prime example of the elite and the famous drug is the example of Al Gore. Al Gore, while using the airport, was said to be carrying suitcases filled to the brim with blood. How addictive is adrenochrome? The compound has several effects on the human brain. Ingestion of this drug can give a mental high like no other, but may cause other psychotic reactions like hallucinations and even cause schizophrenia in some cases. In fact, adrenochrome is as addictive as heroin. There are risks to this drug if engaged in recreational use, your own adrenaline production completely shutting down through homeostasis and negative feedback loops. What this means is that if a constant supply of adrenochrome isn't administered and someone decides to come off it cold turkey, you will have very severe withdrawal symptoms. Withdrawal symptoms that are far worse than that of alcohol, hardcore drugs, opiate, or benzodiazepine withdrawals. How long do the effects of adrenochrome last? Originally, the effect was discovered by administering overaged adrenaline preparations containing adrenochrome and adrenaline. Abraham Hoffer and Humphrey Osmond considered the effect to be similar to LSD and mescaline, psychotomimetic, now called psychedelic. An excerpt from the study: schizophrenia arose in an individual when too much adrenochrome was formed. Therefore, adrenochrome then interfered with brain function as would LSD, and that created the essential stage for the formation of schizophrenia. According to them, the hallucinogenic effect of adrenochrome could last for weeks or lead to flashbacks and would be accompanied by paranoid depressive reactions. They put the thesis on the adrenochrome in mental disorders such as schizophrenia might play a role. This adrenochrome hypothesis was later developed into the aminochrome hypothesis by Hoffer and Osmond. And then it goes on to say, what kind of high do you feel? Participators of the ritual would experience a type of high off of the adrenaline. Increased senses, hallucination, feelings of a euphoria, hypermania, depersonalization, bizarre ideation, masturbation, and body dysmorphia are claimed effects. Consequences of too much adrenochrome. Too much adrenochrome in the body through drinking blood can increase the iron count in the blood and can prove to be fatal, as the body cannot deal with the sudden increase of the ions. In addition to this, adrenochrome in the brain can cause serious mental disorders such as schizophrenia. Vitamin B and nicotinic acid can help to reduce adrenochrome in the brain. So I thought that was an interesting article that kind of sums it up pretty good. The people that do this are not called Satanists for nothing. Most of these sacrifices they do to Moloch, which is their god, or Baal, which is Satan, the devil, Lucifer, however you want to call him. And I actually believe that they get worldly gain because there are dark spiritual forces assisting these people that are into these rituals. And this stuff is manufactured in a lab in Wuhan, China. Now, if you Google buy adrenochrome, you will actually get search results. I think I've kind of mentioned all the important things concerning this topic. So if you have any information or comments surrounding adrenochrome, please put that in the comment section below. Be sure to like, subscribe if you like this content, and follow me on Twitter if you have Twitter at Vinctum1, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.